Hello, ladies, and welcome to LOL Living Out Loud. This is season 4, and our theme for the season is freestyle. It's whatever. So grab your girls, grab a drink, grab a pen, grab your journal, and meet me here at LOL Living Out Loud. Good evening, ladies, and welcome to LOL. Thank you for joining us. I am excited about our chat today. I am talking to my girls, Lori, Regina, and Jessica. And so I'm not good at online dating, don't know how to do it. A lot of women don't, especially the 50 plus crew. I don't know where we think we're going to meet men at the grocery store. I don't know how that's going to work, but what about meeting them online? And that's what they're going to talk to us about today. How to set up a profile, maybe which sites to use. Does it work? What has been their experiences? But we're going to listen to these ladies give us some insight into online dating. So without any further ado, grab your girls, grab your journal, because you're going to have to write some notes down. Grab a pen and your drink of your choice. And welcome to LOL. Hey, ladies.
Hey.
Hello.
Okay, let's just jump into it. Who's going to start us off with this online dating? Who's doing the opening?
Okay, let me just start off. Look, because that's who I am, right? So, is online dating any different than meeting a strange man at a bar, or meeting a strange man at the club, or meeting a strange man in the supermarket, or as somebody else said, they were driving. Valerie's going to laugh at this. They were driving along and exchanged numbers in the cars. Is dating online any different from that? And for me, at first I was like, oh, online dating. Oh, I was like clutching my pearls. And then I had that revelation. There are men that I met, my ex-husband. Like I met him, he lived down the street from me. I didn't know anything about him. So is that any different than online dating? I mean, once I got through that, because the reality is, if you're really being honest with yourself, most of us, and maybe now we do it, but back then we didn't meet people because somebody introduced us we didn't meet people like that. We met people at the strangest of places. So online dating happens to be one of those vehicles, in my opinion.
So that means we have to change our thinking and stop making it a taboo.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Who else wants to go? Get us on this online dating train.
Well, okay. So I'll say this. Um, you're right, Regina. It's really no different than meeting somebody in the grocery store. Although, at least in the grocery store, we can see their faces. Online, people use fake photos, and it might be Mfufu way 50,000 miles away with a military man's picture. So it's you have a lot of bull crap to weed through, but other than that, it's really no different. I've been online dating, I'm embarrassed to say, probably since 2012, off and on. I've done so many different sites. I've met a lot of nice gentlemen who just weren't the ones, but they ended up being really good friends. But I think for me, just dating period, I don't like that initial phase, that getting to know. You have everybody wants to text. You've got grown men over 50 want to text. Well, why can't you pick up the phone and call me? All they want to do is text. And so you've got to deal with that. And my girlfriend, it's funny, I was telling her that I was coming here on your podcast. And this, if you would just, oblige me for a minute, she said, this is some points. She said there are pros and cons. There are good success stories, then terrible ones. A friend of ours met her husband actually on Plenty of Fish, and then another friend of ours met her husband on Black People Meet. But she says, my last attempt is better than the others. It's hard work for sure to navigate through the fools. And so, she really pays attention to pictures. Like if a man has draperies in his kitchen, that's a turn off for her. She's like, now there's a woman in there. So what man puts draperies in his kitchen? She pays attention to the bathroom pics. I swear I think she uses a magnifying glass to look for any type of female hair or something, but it's I just really haven't had any luck just meeting Mr. Right.
What say you, Lori?
I'm like you, Jessica. I've been doing online dating for quite a while. I want to say since 2017, off and on. And I've used various apps, like, there's Plenty of Fish, there's Bumble now, there's Tinder, there's Hinge. So there's a lot of apps. There's also Black People Meet, and I've pretty much tried them all on and off. And, and like to go back to Regina's point is that with online dating is that number one, whether you meet somebody through a friend, through a church or whatever, you still have to be careful. You can meet somebody that you've been introduced to by a friend, and that person could be off when you're with, totally off mentally when you're on a date with them. So my thought is this, to me, it doesn't make a difference. You have to be careful no matter what you do in terms of a dating situation. So when I do online dating, like I use like Bumble is one that I like more than anything, because what I find is I like to make sure like a fisherman likes to fish where he can get the best catch, right? And like Bumble seems to have like a better quality of men that I'm looking for versus POF. It was sort of like
POF, no slang.
Plenty of Fish.
Okay.
Plenty of Fish. I'm sorry. Yes, Plenty of Fish. That POF is the acronym.
POF, short men with no teeth.
Right.
Oh. Okay.
So, some of them are hit or miss, but Bumble seems to be, for me at this point, the best type of guys that I'm looking for. And I think that when you do online dating, I feel like you do have to have your criteria of what you're looking for, of course, but at the same time, you also have to be a little flexible on some things. There's some things are just like, hey, this is what it is for me, and I can't change on that. And there's other things you sort of have to kind of go, depending on the person, how they approach you. But again, it's like with online dating, where else do you get the opportunity to choose men with the swipe of your finger? You don't get that opportunity. If you weren't using online dating at all, how often would you meet a man? So my thing is, it does help increase your chances of meeting somebody, but you have to be open to it. You have to be careful, but you have to be open to it. That's really the main thing that always the takeaway I always try to get people to understand is you got to be open to it and not be afraid of it. Of course, there's some profiles on it that are fake, but I think though, I forget what the ratio is, but I think it's maybe like of his 20-30% that may be, bad profiles, but then the other 70-60% are still good. So the majority are guys who truly, that's their profile, that's who they are. But you also have to have a screening process. Like I have a screening process when it comes to online dating. Number one, when I'm messaging with somebody, I always try to see like how well they form sentences. Like you got to be literate.
Amen.
That's one.
Amen.
Right. I usually go through a messaging phase. I'll do that for maybe a day or so. Then the next step would be, okay, I'll give someone my Google number. I give a Google number. I don't give my actual number, a Google number, right?
Good idea. My girlfriend does too, a Google number.
Yes, absolutely.
Google Voice. You got to have a Google number.
You do
that.
That, and that way you
can
can
text
text
with that. Just a thing. How do you
just set it up?
You just
it's
set
free.
it up. Just through
Gmail.
Apps. Yep.
Through your Gmail account.
Yep, exactly. And that way you can text with them directly, and then set up a call.
You can even send a picture.
Yeah, exactly. Set up a call.
So, but they never have access to your personal number, because when I decide that I don't want to communicate with you anymore, you don't have my personal number.
That's right.
To be wearing my phone out.
Exactly.
You know,
And for
Google
me,
Voice.
that's a must.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a must because
Yep.
I'm all over the internet. So it's a must.
Right. And that's what I do. And then usually the next step is once the messaging, I find that they're great at texting, then it's like let's schedule a call because I want to make sure I want to see how they talk and all of that. So that's the next step. And once I'm comfortable with that, then the next step may be we do a daytime meet where I'll meet you at a Starbucks. You know, you meet somebody open, you know, out in the open spot. You know, even though we have COVID, you can still go to certain coffee shops socially distanced.
Zoom.
Zoom, oh, right, or do a Zoom call. As a matter of fact,
That's good. That's really
Let me
good.
see
Yeah.
your face before I waste my gas.
True. I actually had a Zoom call with a guy a week and a half ago, and I'm meeting him this weekend, as a matter of fact.
Okay, take us
Oh,
with you now. Take us with you now.
It's definitely a process. You don't just meet somebody on the app and then meet them in person.
So Lori,
Definitely have a step.
you did that build up to that?
Yes.
And so what did y'all do on the Zoom call? Look, I'm all
Right.
I'm
On
taking
the Zoom,
notes.
well, here's the thing. On Bumble, you can have a video chat through Bumble.
That's true. You can.
Oh.
You're
You know,
right.
you don't have to do it on your phone or FaceTime because someone may not have an iPhone or whatever. I don't. So that's why you can just simply do the video chat on the app. And we just basically, you know, I always like to have questions that I've written out so that when I'm having a video chat, I'll just go, okay, let me ask this question. Let me, you know, do that. You know, it's like, think of it like an interview. You know, what are the
Yes, it
things you
is.
want to know?
It
Ask
is an
that.
interview, right?
Yeah, look at it as that, you know, and just get a feel of the person. And then, like you said, Jessica, like I do look at the background too, like, okay, what kind of furniture you got? You know, I mean, I will do that too. But
But they lie.
right.
They lie because I'll tell you, you're right, Lori. Bumble does have a different
They
quality.
do.
Yes, it does.
They
Yes.
definitely do.
Yeah, and I met a couple of guys, but 3 guys on Bumble that were really nice, and but one in particular, well, 2 in particular, they just lie. Their profile will say that they don't smoke, and then then you meet them and they smelling like a whole tobacco place. And then the other guy was, he said he owned his own, he was self-employed. They
They all
love
say that. Oh my gosh.
the self-employed. I have 3 qualifications: your own money, your own car, and your own place. I ain't picking nobody up from the metro and driving them from hither to wither. I'm just not doing that. And so this one guy, which he actually, you know, and I have a zoo over here. I've got 4 dogs. So you have to be a dog lover. And he loved my dogs and everything. But come to find out, he had no job. Called me to pick him up at the metro and was living with his uncle. And you're over 55 years old. There's a problem with that.
There's a problem.
And I was like, oh, I couldn't do it anymore. It's like,
Right.
no, this isn't going to work.
And another thing to
Because
that,
your
Jessica,
profile,
is
you
like,
lie.
yes, another thing to that, like when it comes to like the settings on Bumble, like I always make sure, like I think you can indicate whether somebody has a degree or a graduate degree,
Yep.
age range,
Yep.
all of that,
Yep.
because you don't want to just
Religion,
leave it
religion,
open where
yeah,
you don't want to
spiritual.
leave it open.
Yeah. So I will say that that's one of the things is how you set your profile is how your Bumble, your Match, any of those. So Valerie, I'm gonna go through some of we talked
Okay,
about.
yeah,
We're
let's
putting
get
them
into
out there.
setting up our
Okay.
profile.
Okay, but wait a minute. Let me give you some of the different, because Bumble,
Okay.
well, it's somewhat free, but if you want to do more, you got to pay for more. Bumble, Plenty of Fish is free. That's why you get a lower level of,
Oh my God.
you know, Facebook dating is free. That's why you get that.
A mess. Okay.
Okay. Match.com is something that you have to pay for. I find you get an even higher quality than Bumble.
Really?
Yeah.
Match.com. Okay.
Yeah, but you have to pay for it now. It's not, you know, in order to get the significance as you would like it. Tinder, I find Tinder is more for kids that want to play. Like, it's not for people that want to be in a real relationship. I mean, that's what I've just found with Tinder. Like, it's like, you know, people that just want to hang out. And we're going to go through that with the profile. But so those are, did I miss any apps, ladies?
Lori said Hinge. What's Hinge, Lori?
Yeah. Hinge is another app. I mean, it's similar to, I want to say POF in terms of the quality of guys. But it's something to try. It's interesting. You know, every so often you may get
somebody. I did try Hinge one time. Yeah.
But what about the donut coffee thingy or coffee donuts or something like that?
I haven't
heard of that one.
It's called bagel something or other.
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one either.
Okay, so you want to get into setting up your profile, Valerie?
Yes, please. I'm taking notes like big time.
Okay, so setting up your profile, you have to set up your own profile, right? What you like, where you've gone, you know, what level of schooling you've had, whether you want a relationship, whether you want something casual, whether you want blah, blah, blah. Do you have children? Do you want to have children? There's lots of different questions that you ask. They ask single, divorced, separated, married. Like all the separated guys, they not in my profile. You're not divorced. I'm sorry. Goodbye. So anyway, so you set up your profile, and then I put pictures out there because I want to see pictures. So if I don't see a lot of pictures, I'm not.
What kind of pics would you use? And then what do you say interesting about yourself to make people want to read it so it's different than what other people, you know?
I'm just me. I just tell who I am.
I mean, does it sound like a resume for, you know?
No, it doesn't sound like a resume, but I don't want to be anything that I'm not. I don't want to attract unauthentic. So I want to be authentic.
So what do you make it sound like? You
know, but I will tell you this. I do not tell people that I'm a pastor, because that's all that becomes a whole elimination right there. Right. But I do tell them that I'm a Christian and I'm a Jesus chick.
Right.
Or whatever. You know, I don't know if I say Jesus chick, but you know, that type of thing. Go ahead, ladies. You all can add. So the pictures, because I have a lot of headshots, that's a lot of what I post. But what I have found is that I have started posting at least one full body shot, because that is always the killer right there, girl. Because look, these guys, like a lot of guys can post headshots, but the full body shot is a whole different situation. Right? You can say I'm 5'7" and I weigh 180 pounds, but you really are 5'2" and you weigh 240.
And beware of those who don't smile. Yeah. Because if they don't smile, then most likely they've got teeth missing.
Right. I tell them that I have children and I don't want any more and all of that. And then children that live with you, I think a lot of Bumble, I know, asked the question, do the children live with you or that type of thing? So I'm very honest on there, which may be some of the reasons. Now, I will tell you, and Lori and Jessica can probably talk about this. Sometimes you have to turn those filters down, because those filters filter you out.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So sometimes, well, I'm saying this live on the podcast, but in other words, I am spiritual, but I may not put that I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
I may or may not. Like, I may talk about being spiritual and I may not put, or I may not, do I not put that I'm a Christian? I think I always do put I'm a Christian. I may not talk about, I definitely don't talk about being a pastor. That's for sure.
I know. I think with Bumble, I think you have options of, whether you're a Christian or Baptist or Methodist, you can put all of that there. And sometimes I just do, I'm spiritual, or, it really, honestly, it really depends on what floats my boat when I get to that question. And so sometimes I do Christian, sometimes I do spiritual. There are some dating apps that just have spiritual, you know. And then of course you got some that have atheists. Well, you know, of course we don't want to deal with. I don't want to deal with an atheist.
No, I don't either.
But yeah, you can definitely, Regina's right. You can definitely filter yourself out. And I really try not to be, when I do my profile, listen, I don't put a whole bunch of stuff in there. I don't tell who I am. Nobody needs to know I'm Jessica Tillis. I'm Jess, you know, because I don't want them to go Googling and then next thing you know, then I have to deal with that. So I just make it really simple. I put what I like to do. I love reading. I love long walks. I like going to the beach. I like going to the movies. I like this and that and that. You know, my likes. And then I think on Bumble too, they give you options where you can, is it like ask 3 questions to answer that, you know, and so one of the questions might be, well, what do you like to do first thing in the morning? Well, I like to step out on my deck and watch the sunrise, you know, little questions like that. But you really have to be careful because there are profiles out there that I'm just like, that's way too good to be true. Too good to be true.
Okay, Lori, what you got to say about your pics?
I just want to briefly read I have my Bumble profile up now. So
I'm copying from it. Go ahead.
I know, look, me too. I got mine up too. Let me pull
mine.
Read slow.
Yes. Lori, 51, copywriter, editor at graduate school. I'm an established professional with a touch of quirky and blurty and a big dash of silly and fun. My interests are writing, traveling, sketching, and I'm very active. Looking to find a like-minded man to make an initial connection with, then see what develops from there. I'm 5'4", active, Pisces, graduate degree, drink socially, never smoke, no pets, don't want kids, and I'm a Christian. What else do I have? I have 4 pictures of myself. And another thing about pictures is you want to make sure that you have some variety in your picture.
Yeah.
Like you ever see a guy's profile and he has like 3 shots and it's the same pose, but he has on a different outfit in every photo? Like show that you've got some variety about yourself. But I guess with my profile, now I have my name on there because this is my thought. When a guy shows an interest in me, I'm Googling him. So I have no problem with being Googled. Google me, check me out. I want you to because I'm going to be checking you out. So I don't put my last name, but I do put down Lori Hill. This is my profession. So if somebody looks me up, okay, fine, whatever. It's not really a big deal.
Google me.
You know, it just doesn't really, because my thing is that's what I'm doing with them. And it's all, it's all about full disclosure. So I'm like,
oh, I Google, I do case search, I do it all.
Exactly.
My issue as far as not Googling me is because of the type of literature I write.
Gotcha.
And I don't want them to think I'm some kind of slut because I write slutty.
It's not called slutty literature. It's called erotica.
Erotica,
exactly. It's literature. That's the thing. It's literature.
You have people that can't decipher reality from fiction.
Right. So yeah, and then on my profile, I have like 4 pictures of myself in like different, scenarios or whatever, and there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've seen these women, they put these pictures, titties out, they're trying to show the butt. I mean, so what do you really put on there to get men to pay attention to?
Those women are looking for money.
Yeah.
Right.
They want you to pay for get their nails done and their hair done. They're looking for a sugar daddy.
Okay, so I should get some of those pictures right away.
At least that's what Steve told me.
I would say get pictures that truly represent you, like get yourself on your prettiest, like I like to have I have a picture of myself where it's like I'm out at an event. So I have a dress on. I have another event where I'm at a sporting event. So I always try to show pictures where I'm in a different background, different scenario.
Yeah.
But always smiling.
I have a picture of my kid. Yeah, I have a picture of me with my kids. So, because I don't want you
Your
to
mother.
even have,
Right.
I'm a
right,
mother.
exactly.
Yeah. So like I don't have
Mhm.
any
Mhm.
bones about it. So it is what it is. Look, I just added, look, it's funny. I just changed some of my pictures because I had some here and I only have my first name. And actually, I don't even have a whole bio. It says my favorite Phyllis Hyman song is The Answer Is You. What is your favorite? What is your Phyllis Hyman song? That's my intro,
Okay.
So here's
right?
my
And then
thing
I,
about,
you know, then
I'm sorry, Regina.
go ahead. No,
No,
go
I
ahead.
was going to say my only issue with Bumble is that the women have to be, I don't want to say aggressor. That's not the
They
right
select
word.
the guy first.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
They
explain
have to
what you guys
approach
mean by
first.
that. What do you mean by that?
What that means
That
is,
if you swipe on someone
right.
and just so happen he swipes on you, then you have to send him a text first.
Right.
And I'm old school.
I'm old school too.
like to be courted. I like, throw out your reel and rod and see if you can catch me. And I just, that's the only thing about Bumble that I don't like. And then you've got, once you text, he'll respond and then you respond again and then he doesn't respond at all. And
I hear what you're saying on that. I felt the same way about it. I guess what I started to like about it was that way I don't have just anybody contacting me all the time. I prefer, I'm comfortable with approaching somebody. And if he doesn't respond back, that's fine. But
so what do you say on the approach, Lori? What do you say?
This is what I say every time.
Okay.
Whenever somebody swipes on me and I swipe on them second and it shows, boom, this is a match. And that means I have to send a message. Mm-hmm. This is always my standard response. Greetings. Greetings, Joe. How are you? That's all I say. Greetings, Joe. How are you? I always say greetings with their name, make it personal. How are you?
Yeah, I do that too.
Say it again.
I do that too. Then what? And then they respond back.
Yes. Usually I'll give a guy up to 2 days because I understand not every guy may have his notifications
right.
able. Mm-hmm. So I give a guy 2 days. And then usually if they respond back, hey, how are you? Hey, I'm doing well. How are you? I like it when somebody responds back but has a question. If somebody responds back, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I don't send any other messages. What I do is it's like, oh, that's all you're going to say? I'm not going to say anything else to you. Then that's forcing them to respond again. If they don't, left swipe.
So that's funny because I just did a question, right? And so my question is, it's so funny, is they prompt you to put questions. So my initial question, because I done swiped 3 people while we were sitting here and I matched with every single one of them. I was like, dag, I ain't been on Bumble in a minute. These men been looking at me and I ain't been swiping. Anyway, and so my question was, what is your love language?
Oh, okay. I like that one.
I never know how to answer that. I never know how to answer that question.
Well, do you know what yours is?
Do you know what yours is?
No. Okay, so you need to take the love language test. You need to take
mine is affirmation.
Mine is acts of service.
Is it on the app?
No, we can do it on the show, Lori. I have
I'm like, what is, whenever I see that question?
No, because love language is a really big deal because it talks about how you want to be loved. Some people like quality time. Some people like physical touch. Some people like words of affirmation. Some people like acts of service. It makes a difference. So in other words, and so if your love language, if his love language is physical touch, I could buy him everything. I could do everything. And it's not going to, it's not going to work.
Okay, because this one guy asked me that and I was like, I don't know, I guess I like
just
love,
go on
I guess.
5 love. When we get off of here, go on 5 love languages and take the test.
Yeah, you can take the test. I have all the books and stuff, but just go take
Google it, Lori.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Very real and very important.
Gotcha.
Very important.
Regina, I wrote that down.
Yeah, what's your love language?
Okay, I like that. All right. And listeners, I want you to know we're not getting any endorsements on this site from Bumble.
Oh yeah, no, we are not.
And the ratio of African American men
Yes.
to non-African men, there really aren't a lot of them, us on Bumble.
No.
And so what do you ladies feel about crossing that line?
I'm okay with it.
I haven't seen anybody on here. Oh my God. This is what I find every time. It's funny. Look, y'all got me on the app now. This is one of my college friends that I grew up with. I'm like, oh Lord. And the last time I was on Bumble, he was on Bumble. And I think that's part of the reason I got off, because I was like, Lord, I don't need to run into no people that I went to college with, except for the fact that my girlfriend and I are trying to do a speed dating on Zoom for, so certain group of people. So that's
right.
But anyway, go ahead.
Would you date outside of your race? I guess is what Jesse's asking. And we've talked about this before on LOL, and I'm good with it. I think Lori is open to it. Regina, you open to it?
I am.
I am, but I would not be the approacher. He would have to.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah.
I mean, I see some guys on Bumble that I find interesting. I'll, right swipe, but I'm open to it. I will say what my preference is, but I'm definitely open to dating outside of my race.
Now, you all didn't talk about black people meet.
Oh, I was on there, but
yeah, that was not as good. It was not as good as you would think. It was.
You see the same people, in the DMV area. You see the same people on Black People Meet that you see on Plenty of Fish and Black Singles Connection, and it's the same
Christian
people. And I see a
dating.
lot of people I went to school with, and I ain't trying to date none of
Girl,
them.
that's what I'm saying.
I love y'all if you listen, but
Okay, y'all. Nobody mentioned. I see commercials for it all the time. eHarmony.
I did eHarmony.
I did eHarmony too. That's another paid situation.
What did you think of it, Regina?
$65.
What did you think of it?
I think I had my filters too high. My girlfriend finds guys. She connects with guys all the time on eHarmony and Match, and I haven't found that. And I'm like, for that kind of money that I'm paying, I got to have some success. But I think my filters are very high. Like, you can't get high. You can't smoke cigarettes.
Though.
You can't,
That's reasonable.
No, but I mean, I know, but I'm just saying, but that limits the field.
Wait, and I just looked it up. There's one called Hello Cupid.
I don't know anything about that.
Hello Cupid. It was just the quality was not great. It really wasn't. And I wasn't crazy about the app itself. I just didn't care for it.
So can I just say, just have a little warning moment?
Yes.
Since you mentioned eHarmony, which I'm, I have a family member or had a family member who met someone on a dating site that was mentioned here. And long story short, he killed her and chopped her body up and planted her all over Maryland. So it was all in the news, and he had killed his wife, and it was just a whole bunch of mess. And for a long time, I stayed away from dating sites. So I think when we meet these people, we really, I just don't know, how can you assess somebody's psyche, How can you assess someone psychologically that they ain't out their minds, and that you're safe?
Lori,
I hear what you're saying, but I think here's the thing. Going back to what Regina said in the beginning, it's like that can be the case with anybody, anywhere.
Yeah,
it's about, you have to use common sense and you have to be careful. Bottom line, you have to.
So you
can
guys,
go-
would you suggest moving slow? You know,
Yeah.
taking your time.
Absolutely.
getting to know
But
someone?
Like
I
I mentioned,
would
I screen
recommend
people
moving
out.
slow. Yeah, I would recommend moving slow, whether you meet somebody in person or not. I mean, I think that's just the standard. I think the same standard that Lori's talking about for online dating is the same standard you need. Now, you may meet the person, you may meet the person face to face, right? But you still need, I still am giving you my Google Voice. I'm still, gonna see how you text and how you write and I'm still gonna do that, right? Like even if I meet you at the grocery store, the Google Voice number is still the same.
Yep.
And I have it memorized.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you still meet them out. You don't have them come to
Right.
your house. I think a lot of times when somebody's been killed or murdered, unfortunately, a
Yeah.
lot of times, sometimes someone was not practicing enough, wasn't safe enough.
I
They
agree.
weren't practicing, it's like you don't invite somebody to your house. You
Mm.
just don't do that. You don't start that so early. My thing is
Yeah.
wait a few months, be patient,
Mhm.
but you've got to be careful. You got to be careful. And that's in any scenario.
Yeah.
So what do you all think about my friend, my male friend told me that, if you really want to meet men who are serious on these dating sites, you have to pay. The guys who are serious, they're paying monthly. They're putting the little yellow box around, they're paying to have that around their name.
Yeah.
And that they're probably only dealing with women who are paying, because that shows that they're
Right.
serious.
Right.
That's why some of the paid sites do have a different level of because they realize you've paid, so you've invested, and they're paying and they've invested. And also I find that's why Plenty of Fish I absolutely do not like, because it's free. And the Facebook dating, I'm getting ready to close that dating app out because it's free.
Yeah. And there's a lot of married folks up on Facebook.
Come on now, Jesus. The married folks.
Okay, ladies, I think you guys have laid out the groundwork for us chickens to look at online dating differently, because you're right. We're not 16, 17, 18 anymore. We're not meeting people at school and in college, and it's COVID. So we need to be open. I need to be open to meeting people online and setting up a profile. I might have to send Lori to take a look at mine, because I like hers, and see what happens.
I want to say this.
Mm-hmm.
COVID, like, while there are a lot of single people who are like, oh, COVID has messed up my dating life. COVID is actually giving you a chance to really get to know someone,
Right.
and to find out your values, right?
Yeah.
Do you go out and are you with 50 million different people? Are you traveling? What are you doing? Because people think very differently, right? I operate differently in COVID, and so and whether you do or not, but what I'm saying is it gives you a chance to know someone. No, you can't come to my house. No. And even if we are going to meet in person, like we're going to meet outside, but look,
Yeah.
I can push them off that much longer because of COVID. Like I can say, yeah, well, I'm not really comfortable yet, or
exactly.
I got a runny nose, or
Mm-hmm. I'm coughing.
Right.
I'm coughing.
So Lori,
Yeah, but I mean, it just, or saying, or you can say, okay, let's both get tested, which of course tests are a point in time. I mean, for me, who has had the first part of the vaccine, where are you on the vaccine, and all of that kind of stuff. And I don't mean to stand in judgment, but if you if you got your little thing about the vaccine, I'm like, okay, well, I am vaccinated. I am doing the vaccine. So, COVID actually gives you a longer chance to get to know someone before you meet in person, without the pressure of, one of my girlfriends said this. She reconnected with someone, and the fact that they are getting to know each other and communicate and talk without bringing any intimacy into the situation or any kind of other stuff, because they seen each other all the time or whatever, gives you an opportunity to really get to know someone. And as Lori said, like the steps, you know, I have learned that those steps are so important.
Yeah.
So Lori, you said you have a date with someone you met.
Yes.
And now you're getting ready to meet them in person next week, right?
Actually, tomorrow.
Okay, so tell us what it is about this gentleman that made him get to that step.
Well, we have been messaging for quite a while, and then we had our a video chat. And he's an intelligent guy. And I Googled him like, oh, I basically secured who he was, you know, so I did all my searching and everything. And we have such great conversations. He texts every other day. Our communication is frequent. I like that when someone keeps the ball rolling. That's important, you know. It's always a turnoff when you meet somebody, they text you one day, you text them, and then they kind of drop out of sight and then they reappear out of nowhere. So the flow is going, which I really appreciate it. And you know, I just like this conversation. He's a very smart guy. He has things to say. He's very expressive and all that. So that's what really drew me in, you know. And so tomorrow it'll be our first time just meeting in person, but we're going to go to a restaurant with socially distanced and then see how we are in person. Like that's the next step. Like, okay, I saw that you can write sentences. Okay, now you can talk on the phone, and video chat was great. Okay, now, and you're keeping the communication going. Now let's meet in person. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that, you know, it works out and we connect in person. Then it's like Regina said, now it's okay, now finding interesting ways to keep the connection going without seeing that person all the time. That's going to be interesting, you know. So it's like coming up with new ideas of things to do, you know. And I think that's what's the beauty of COVID is like, it's making you think differently. It's making you just, you know, it's not always about being around somebody and, you know, going to their house, doing other things to stay connected. That's what it's teaching.
Yes.
Well, Lori, we're going to do a quick segment on the update on your date.
Oh.
Go ahead, Jess. What were you going to say?
I want to read my profile to Lori and Regina. You let me know what you think.
Okay.
I would have read it earlier, but you know, Bumble got all this updating going on. Okay. So it says Jessica 54. Self-employed at my own company, Prince George's Community College, because you put just all that stuff. Says, okay, I'm living life on my terms. I enjoy great conversation, great food, and good times with family and friends. I'm drama-free, 100% single, and loathe confrontation. Looking for friendship with potential for more. And then, of course, I do have Christian, by the way, and I'm liberal.
I like that. But you know what always makes me chuckle? Whenever I read a guy's profile and he says, no, I don't want any drama. Like, well, who does? I hate it.
So I should delete that then?
Yeah, because like that, to me, that's assumed. Like, that's like saying you don't want somebody who doesn't smell. Well, of course, you know. So if I see that in a guy's profile, I always ask myself, so then drama is drawn to you then? Are you
okay, I'm gonna delete that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I agree with that, because the thing about it is men always have a tendency to say, I don't want no drama.
Yes.
Okay, but life is drama.
Yeah.
Life is a stage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what?
Words matter. Words matter.
Do matter.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm taking that out. Okay.
Wow.
How many pictures do you have on the
information here?
I have 3 pictures, one headshot, one half body shot, and one full body shot.
There you go. There you go.
But then, you get these guys, you have to verify your account. Now, I haven't done that yet because I think I take the worst freaking selfies in the world.
Oh, how do you verify your account? Oh, maybe I didn't do that.
I think you verify it by taking a picture.
Right. Now they don't post that picture. They use it behind the scenes to verify, and then you get this blue badge that shows that you're verified. So
really?
Let me do that. Girl, let me do that.
Look at the teachers are learning on the show.
Oh, I'm already verified. I have a blue blue mark by my
Oh,
Yep,
that they
mhm.
were going to post that. And I'm like, I take the worst
No, no, they're not going to post that.
genic, you know. Okay.
Okay, so
I'm gonna do it
Look,
now, and I'm gonna beat
y'all
your
done made
tail,
me
Lori.
go.
If
Now
it
y'all
don't-
have me in Bumble. Now y'all gonna have me in Bumble for the rest of the night. Swiping, swiping, swiping.
No, I'm coming after Lori if they post.
okay, so I'm for real, Lori. We're gonna follow up with you
Yes.
on LOL. We're gonna follow that, and we're gonna follow you guys
Fingers
to the
crossed.
altar if you make it to the altar.
Fingers
And
crossed.
right?
Okay, so listen to this. Okay, look.
Okay.
Look, okay, I'm sorry. I know you're ready to quit, and I know I have to go. So
You're
this
the one
guy
that has to
says-
go.
This is, I know. This guy says a non-negotiable. Your need to be right all the time. Inflexibility really annoys and suffocates me. Nigga, no.
Whenever a guy starts listing negativity like that,
Yeah,
left swipe.
I
You're
do.
on a,
I
here's
left
the thing
swipe.
about a dating app. You're supposed to give a brief synopsis about yourself, what you're looking for, and that's it. You don't talk badly about somebody. You don't put down men. And it's just simply, this is who I am. This is what I'm looking for. End of story. Don't post things like, I'm not looking for a man who doesn't have money. And blah. Don't do all of that. That's negative. It's negative. You
is.
want your profile to be positive. This is who I am. This is what I'm looking for. Hope to hear from you. Leave it. That's how you should always leave your profile. Always.
I
And when
like
you
that.
put active, listen, I'm getting all the tips. You, Lori, put active. Is that active as in working out active?
It could be that. You know, I
Well,
mean,
could put
it's like this. I
partially
am.
active.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on what you define as active. It could be, hey, I'm active in terms of I do a lot of running around, or it could be I'm physically active. It all depends.
Or
Yeah, I don't-
sexually active. Sorry, that was the bad girl in me coming out.
What did you say? She's what?
Nothing.
She takes it
And the
back.
reason why I put that in there is because it's like I want a guy who is also active in his mind. You know, I don't want somebody that's just kind of like, I just want to sit around and watch TV. No, that's why I put my profile.
Right.
Like that.
We
I'm
not
active.
Netflix and
Even
chilling
if it's
forever.
walk to the park, I'm active.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Okay. I see we can do a lot with this. So we'll call this part 1, and we will pick it up and check out and give us about a month. I know that Sam and Marty agreed to do
Are
it.
y'all
for a
gonna
month.
are you gonna set up your profile on Bumble tonight, Valerie?
Now.
Yes. Yeah, no, we're gonna do it tonight, Valerie.
Yeah,
You're
no,
gonna do
no,
it
because it
tonight.
requires pictures. So I'm going to have it set up by March 1st, which is Women's History Month. I'm going to do
Look,
this for
woman,
Women's
I
History
just
Month.
reactivated my Bumble. You better
I know
Yes.
I'm going on Monday. I'm gonna get Marty and Sammy to do it too. And we're gonna report back to see what happens in 4 weeks. When we report back, we're gonna grab Lori and see what happened with her. Regina, what's happening with you and Jess.
How come it says my profile is only 65% done?
I know it says that about mine too.
It because usually they may have like questions. That's optional. I don't really answer those additional questions that they have. I feel like my profile is enough, you know, says enough about me. That's
Do you
optional.
connect to your social media?
I
Like
don't.
I don't. No, I don't.
I don't,
Okay.
because I don't want you in my Instagram. Because actually, somebody sent me something to. They sent me a text message today, and my number. And I use that Google Voice for also my work number. And I think, yeah. And so they were like, I'm connected to you on social media. And I was like, yeah, but who are you?
Right.
So I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
So much.
I don't.
I feel like I need to study before I even get started. Okay. So don't hang up yet, ladies. Let me sign off. So, audience, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have been inspired, encouraged, or motivated to either update your app, open an account, meet somebody, I don't know, fall in love during COVID. But whatever you do it boldly, live out loud. So in the words of Dolly Parton, find out who you are and do it.